She's seen things that you would never believe. All because of this.
And on top of that, bro, if a girl is 25, if she's above that and she's not cuffed up and she's beautiful, like, why are you not why are you single? Why are you single? Why have you not found? That's just a red flag if they're over 25 and not in a relationship. Straight up. Today we're watching Do Not Date Nurses Yellow Flags. Now we all know the stigma with like nurses and women in the medical field, bro. It's just not worth it. You know, it's really just not worth it, bro. They be out here, you know what I'm saying, going crazy to say the least. And, you know, if you want a good relationship, bro, it's just not worth it, bro. They're only for fun. Let's just say that. Now let's hop in this video. Let's see what they have to say about it.
Unlike a red flag, a yellow flag means proceed, but with extreme caution. So let's talk about professions. This is where it gets interesting. I've seen a bunch of lists over the years of professions that you should avoid if you're dating. You know, women who do these jobs are more likely to be, or they're more likely to be problematic, or whatever the case may be.
Now, I'll say, like, from what I've, like, you know, just from my observation, I've known there to be, nurses, like flight attendants, like any traveling nurses, bro. Anything that's like traveling is like a red flag straight up. And there's a couple more, but yeah, let's see what they have to say.
And some of those same professions are on my list, but I want to give some reasoning and some context that you guys may or may not agree with. Profession number one, entertainers. I would tell you, I would tell your son, I would tell my little brother, I would tell any young man that I come across, stay away from women in the entertainment industry. That goes double for actors, that goes for singers, that goes for influencers, that goes for models. Stay away. And the reason is, let's look at actors, for instance. Personally, I believe every actor is off their meds. I think to be an actor, you have to be off. You have to have some screws loose.
That's a valid point.
The frame on you. I got my old shooters with me and they laying on you.
Situations like Heath Ledger, where he got so enamored and so involved in the character that killed him. We've seen actors who are known for method acting where like they embody that character even in real life and they get lost in that character. To be a good actor, you have to be insane. You have to be borderline bipolar because you have to not only maintain who you are, whatever who you are is, you have to be able to literally step in other people's skin, whether it's a person that's actually existed.
Dang, I never thought about that. Like I've seen this whole drama with like this YouTuber DDG and his girlfriend who's an actor who's like the Little Mermaid or whatever, and she's like crazy. And I never thought about like maybe it could be due to like how she's an actor. Like that's how she's so crazy or that's how she is an actor because she's so, you know, like, I don't know, it's psychopathic or, you know, just crazy, bro. But yeah, I could never be an actor. That's not my thing.
Like, let's say you're playing a historical figure or whether it's a fictitious character, you have to be able to articulate their fears, their concerns, their wants. And personally, I don't think normal people can do that. At least do that well.
I pity the fool. Thank you. That's enough. We'll call you. Thank you for the opportunity.
So when I think of dating an actress, I think that's potentially dating somebody who can play whatever character she needs to play. And that is scary. She could play a serial killer. She could play a victim. She could manipulate you or the situation. And we've seen this play out with the likes of Jada Pinkett and, you know, some of the things we've seen in the news. So I would say absolutely proceed with caution with actresses. Now, singers, it's a similar thing because as a singer, if you want to be successful, unless you're a songwriter, I think that is the exception. But if you're a singer, you want to be the next Beyonce, you have to also kind of be an actress, right? In Beyonce's case, she had to create a character, Sasha Fierce, which is her stage persona. And when she's in that persona, she's not Beyonce Knowles, she's somebody else. Whether that means she lets something else take over, or that's some spiritual shit, or, you know, she's just playing that character. But furthermore, to be an effective singer and musician, you have to be able to connect emotionally with the audience. How do you sing a sad song when your life is going good? I have a theory that some actors, musicians actually seek out turmoil to fuel their art because nobody wants a happy song. They want another heartbreak song. So subconsciously or consciously, if I want to be a successful singer, I have to seek heartbreak so I can really method act and I can really embody this emotion to connect with my audience. So again, if you're looking for a serious partner and potential mother to your children, I would stray away from especially those two categories. Influencers are a close second. And I want to make a special acknowledgement of influencers who call themselves male advocates. Don't trust them motherfuckers. Because it kind of goes back to the women who I only get along with men. Take that with a grain of salt. But influencers in general, the ones who they gotta take a picture of the meal. They're not watching the concert you just paid for. They're one of the unpaid videographers.
Bro, I just think like with anybody who has like a bunch of followers and stuff, bro, they can let their followers get into like their life or their relationship. It's just not even worth it, bro. Like they're kind of like bound to their followers because that's who makes the money. That's who that's who basically controls their life. It's kind of like when you have a boss. If your boss tells you to do something, like you'll 100% do it. If you care about the job that much, you know what I'm saying? Your followers are kind of like your boss at the end of the day. And if your woman is, you know what I'm saying, a influencer or something like that, bro, she gonna, kind of lean towards what her fans are saying, bro. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's very, like she would be very easily influenced. And on top of that, I just don't want my girl to have that much attention, bro. Like on social media and things like that. That's just not worth it, bro. I know it's hypocritical because I do like YouTube and, social media and stuff, but at the same time, I'm different. I think it's different for guys, bro. I really do think it's different for guys.
Their life is about making virtual people jealous, giving virtual people FOMO. They don't know how to actually enjoy the experience. Their enjoyment comes from other people's jealousy of their perceived enjoyment of the experience. I remember I was at a hookah lounge once and I saw this super attractive girl chilling, just smoking hookah, just vibing to the music. Then she pulls her phone out to record a video and instantly is now looking like she's having the time of her life. If that's not the definition of disingenuous, I don't know what is. And even with my small influence, having been around other people who call themselves influencers, there's something about the personality type that is just off-putting to me personally. Now, if you're a guy who wants to monetize your family and your relationship and everything is for public consumption, cool. But for me, and if I was giving advice to the young boys, especially nowadays, I would say stay away. I would say stay far, far away. Let's talk about models. And this is difficult because as men, we, for biological reasons, for status reasons, for ego reasons, want to capture the most beautiful woman that we can find. I would submit to you that if a woman is over an 8, proceed with caution. Proceed with extreme caution.
Sounds personal to me.
I
can't do this, homie.
This video is so on
Number
point,
one,
bro.
You have to understand that beauty is not a virtue, especially when it comes to like bone structure and physical stature outside of somebody who worked out for it. It's something that they won the genetic lottery. They got it for free. They didn't have to work for it. As a society, though, we treat beauty as if it is a virtue. So a lot of these people get certain privileges. We call it pretty privilege because of something that they just got. And it skews their interactions with other people because it skews them into thinking that their primary value is their looks and other people's access to being around their looks, whether just physically as friends or whether sexually, and how other people can consume and exploit them.
Let me just say, you are putting the pussy up on this pedestal. You're just building the pussy up, man.
What are you even talking about? Building the pussy up? What does that mean?
So you live your life like that up to the age 18, 19, 20, 21. You're getting on boats. You're getting gifts from rich men. You're getting flown here. You're getting all your bills paid. You didn't have to develop any marketable skills. You didn't have to develop a personality. You didn't have to be interesting. Imagine what kind of person you become. Entitled, of course. Selfish, of course. Solipsistic, of course. Now, there are rare exceptions where you'll find a woman who's just drop dead gorgeous and is just a normal human being. That's the exception.
Yeah, it's so rare because ever since she's a little girl, she's been getting complimented. Then she gets teenager compliments, bruh. She knows how to like manipulate by the age of 12, 13. You know what I'm saying? Then when she's a grown adult, bro, it's cooked, bro. She's heard she's pretty 20 million times. You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, where do we go from here, bro? You know what I'm saying? Pretty don't work. You got to come up with all these extra stuff. And I mean, obviously, you know, you want a girl that's pretty and stuff, but yeah, when it's just like gets to a point where it's like 10 out of 10 out of 10,000, it's like, or not 10 out of 10,000, 10,000 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, all right, bro. Like, I don't know if it's worth it because it's just fun. It should just be fun, bro. Because at the end of the day, unless you get them like real early and like you kind of grew up with them and you know them. But if she's been through like all these experiences, been on boats, been on planes, you just don't want that. You want to have like that first time experience with them. You know what I mean? That's how I feel at least. And yeah, he's spitting with this, bro. Like this video's been on point so far. I cannot lie.
Not the rule, fellas. Because when you start getting up into those 9s and 10s, they're usually cuckoo.
The danger zone. This is your redheads, your strippers, anyone named Tiffany. This is hairdressers. This is where your car gets keyed. You get a bunny in the pot. Your tires get slashed, and you wind up in jail.
They've usually seen the worst of human nature because they're relegated.
Bro, they be getting flown out to Dubai and getting pooped on, gang. Like, bro, if you see a girl with every single country in her highlights, Instagram highlights, bro, it ain't even worth it, bro. Just stop right there. You know what I'm saying? Or like a girl that's traveling and doing all this, like, just not even worth it, bro. Just save the time, you know, save the time of dating. This is all, you know, in terms of dating.
To people who can afford to consume them. The billionaires, the millionaires, the casting agents, the people who work for certain companies and paying for their trips and putting them on yachts and putting them on magazines and things like that. Those are usually predatory people. So even if she had the potential of being a quote unquote good person, she's compromised. Now, again, there are rare situations where she was just raised really well. She had a strong father, a fantastic mother, and despite the fact that she was genetically gifted, she understood how the world was going to see her. And she focused on becoming a person of character, not just an object for consumption. So again, fellas, I would say 6, 7, 8, that should be your aspiration. Anything over that, she might be 20, but she's lived the life of a 50-year-old woman. She might be 25, but she's done drugs that you've never heard of. She's seen things that you would never believe. All because of this.
And on top of that, bro, if a girl is 25, above 25, bro, or not even, bro, I say 23. If a girl's above 23 and she's not, or we could do 25, I don't know, 23 to 25. And if she's above that and she's not cuffed up and she's beautiful, like, why are you not, why are you single? Why are you single? Why have you not found, because like, that's like a woman's biggest asset is her beauty, her personality, and things like that. So therefore, well, her biggest asset is her beauty. So if she has the beauty, that means she doesn't have the personality because nobody cuffed her, gang. Like, straight up. So therefore, that's just a red flag if they're over 25 and not in a relationship. Straight up. Why are you 30? Why are you, like, gang, why are you 30? Why are you 30 with no children, no husband, no none of that? You know what I'm saying? It's even worse if you, like, all right, so if they've been divorced already and stuff like that, maybe something happened. But if they have never been married or, you know what I'm saying, in a relationship or never had kids or anything like that, that's a red flag, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Gift and curse that is pretty privilege. And again, everything that glitters is not gold. And real gold doesn't always glitter. Now, if you just tight with God, he might give you like an 8. Solid woman, but she's beautiful. If you're God's chosen warrior, he might throw you a 9. But again, when you get into 9 and 10 territory, I'm telling you, don't want that. You do not want that. And men, we cannot afford to operate as if we're the exception. That segues into waitresses, bartenders, hookah girls, fitness trainers. This category is what I would like to call soft core modeling. Especially like if you're waitressing at places like Hooters or Twin Peaks I think there's some other like knockoffs
Fitness
of
model?
those brands. You see the girls
Yeah, it's not
wearing
good.
short shorts that are pretty much thongs, even the bartenders, the hookah girls, because it's less about their actual customer service and their ability to be an effective waitress or bartender or hookah girl, but it's about their sex appeal and their ability to inspire men to want to show off and buy more.
I wonder how girls feel about like working these jobs. Like, do they feel like they're like a stripper would feel? Just like, do they feel like a stripper, but like a little bit less of a stripper? If you get what I'm saying, do they still feel like that, or they just feel like it's just a normal job? Like,
But then we would usually buy, or drink more than we would usually drink, or tip higher than we would usually tip. That's why these restaurants and these businesses exploit the female essence.
No. I'm about to get bottles right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Marcus Miles has just bought the entire bar tonight.
oh hell no.
So if you are dating a woman who falls
Hell no.
into the nightlife industry in some way, shape, or form, I would encourage you to proceed with caution, because again, she is encountered
Bro,
with the worst
you just shouldn't even
aspects
do it.
of
That's
not
just-
just
no.
masculinity, but humanity. People are not at their most human and ethical and considerate when they're intoxicated.
Facts.
They're not, especially not us as men. So you experience years of that working as a bartender, as a hookah girl, as a waitress. Also, while your employer is exploiting your sex appeal, it's absolutely going to skew the way that you view men and the way that you view yourself. You might actually now start parading yourself as a commodity. And we see this with strippers and the whole nine. Part of the reason why they're off limits is because they are compromised. Now, again, this is a yellow flag only because it's complicated, especially like waitresses and things like that. I would give a little bit of grace, but like it's something to keep in mind. Because those men who are going to Hooters and Twin Peaks, some of them might be going for the wings, but some others are going to see your girl's titties or your girl's ass. That's the life you want? Cool. But if not, it might be a reason for you to take your business elsewhere. Now, with fitness trainers, their body is their business. But we see some fitness trainers, and it's all over social media. It's like, you know what you're doing, lady. Like, you know exactly what you're doing, lady. Or squats.
I think fitness trainers can be cool, but I think they can't be doing this, bro. Like, straight up, that's just ridiculous. But a fitness trainer could be cool they should be training women. But I mean, if you're doing this is just like, this is like soft core corn, bro.
That's the only exercise you do? Is your butt the only thing that you're selling? Is this outfit the only thing you could work out in? You know what you're doing, lady. So going back to that attention seeking, going back to that self-commodifying, something to be wary of. Also be wary of women who job hop a lot. They tend to fear commitment. They tend to be irresponsible. They tend to not have any stick-to-itiveness. They tend to get bored easy. That's a common theme I hope you're picking up on. Imagine trying to build a life with that type of person. And again, there's a difference between job hopping and like you're increasing your salary with every hop and you're growing your career and things like that versus last week she worked at Hooters. This week she works at Twin Peaks. Last week she worked at Foot Locker. This week she works at Foot Action. That is a sign, even amongst men, of an irresponsible person. Either she's a terrible employee or she just can't make up her damn mind to save her life.
I do not need this, okay? My man has 2 jobs.
Nurses make the list of female professions to avoid a lot amongst male circles. And I actually have female friends who are nurses who actually confirm these things, especially like travel nurses. First of all,
and I bet his friends who confirmed it, they're like, oh yeah, that's not me. I'm not like that, but I see the other nurses that are like that. That's how it always is.
They say that medical professionals are very promiscuous, more promiscuous than we would think. They're also very unhealthy, ironically. But just like Grey's Anatomy, there's a lot more sex that happens in hospitals than we realize. Some people are doing 48-hour shifts. They're seeing their coworkers every day. They sleep at work and the whole nine stuff happens. And I think when you also combine that with like the nurse archetype, which is somebody who is deeply nurturing, sees themselves deeply as a healer. Shout out to Jada Pinkett. They might associate their sexual energy with their healing ability as well. Just something to think about.
A new study shows that nurses are more likely to cheat on their spouses than athletes and even musicians. This is according to the survey done by the dating app Ashley Madison. And
Hey, bro, there are people I saw a video. They were like a girl, like they were doing a pop the balloon, and a girl got mad when they all popped on her for being a nurse. But bro, there's statistics to this too. I thought it was just like, you know what I'm saying, superstition.
Ashley Madison, of course, is an app for cheating spouses.
Also, I've seen that some men have complained that when their girl became a nurse and she started making a certain amount of money, she no longer respected him. She started talking to him any kind of way, combined with the stress that she's getting from work and all that. So if you are planning on dating a medical professional, and medical professionals, especially doctors, nurses, they'll tell you these things. It's not a walk in the park. And it's incumbent upon us to be at least cognizant of some of these things so we're not anticipating La La Land. Next category, hairdressers, cosmetologists. For whatever reason, these professions tend to house a lot of women who consider themselves empaths, whether because a lot of their job involves talking to their clients, you know, whether because, again, that nurturing nature, making somebody look good is part of rehabilitating that person. And in my opinion, empaths tend to be really irresponsible people because they don't think about outcomes as much as healing. They end up with the shitty dudes because they're trying to heal them. They end up accumulating a whole bunch of trauma because they think that their job is to soak up all the negativity of the world, and God has tasked them with this duty, and they just hold it for themselves. And again, you see those personality types in hairdressers and cosmetologists. And often those professions weren't their first choice. It was a fallback. It was, I wasn't good at school. The thing that I really wanted to do, I failed at it, but I always knew how to do hair. I always knew how to do makeup. And now I've been able to build a business for myself, which is good, which is resourceful. However, you find certain consistencies in the personality types of women who fall into these professions.
Why are these professions like black women Bro, anytime I'm talking to a black girl, they either want to be like a CNA, some type of nurse, or they're like in school for that, or they want to do cosmetology, like hair. That's actually kind of interesting. I don't know. That's just something I thought of.
They tend to be involved in drama a lot. And women who might be listening, talk to your hairdresser. She's been through some shit. She's seen some shit. She's going through some shit right now. She always has a story to tell. They tend to be irresponsible, whether financially or in their personal choices. They tend to be dishonest. Just like a few weeks ago, we were talking about business owners in Atlanta because of the whole Keith Lee thing. If you talk to women, they'll tell you what these hairdressers are doing. You got to come washed and with your hair half done before I'll even see you. And I'm going to be late to our appointment, even though I'm the hairdresser. And I'm going to have a bad attitude. And I might not do the style the way that you want it, but I have a no refund policy. So again, fellas, be wary of it because you're going to have to be the one that personality type comes home to and brings the weight of their bullshit and other people's bullshit too. Again, these are yellow flags, not red flags. But real estate agents, I found, especially in cities like Atlanta, they tend to be retired strippers for whatever reason.
Well, I think they use the stripping money to go into real estate and like invest into this stuff, and then they just call themselves, yeah, I'm a realtor now.
Now, instead of leveraging their looks to sell wings or crab legs, now they're leveraging their looks to sell homes. Again, be wary of a woman who is socialized to exploit herself for financial gain, because very often that never stops. Forex and MLM girlies. I remember some years back, some women that I went to college with reached out to me about becoming a part of a company called iMarkets Live that nobody hears about anymore. But it was a multi-level marketing company, and it was about Forex trading, but it was really about recruiting people to Forex trade. First of all, multi-level marketing is always going to be a scam. But again, the reason why personality types like this gravitate to things like MLMs, because MLMs hook people by selling a lifestyle. You get to be a boss. Look at this Rolls Royce. Look at this mansion that we rented to shoot this promo video. So it begs the question, is this a girl who is interested in substance? Or is this a girl who's interested in aesthetic? Because guess what? That's going to govern your household. That's going to govern your relationship. It's going to all be about how we look to other people, not if we're happy. She's only going to cook when other people are coming over. not because she wants to take care of her man and her family. The house might only be clean when other people are coming over because, again, she cares more about what other people think than what people on the inside think, which should be a woman's primary responsibility. And ultimately, she might be a scammer. Those are the women who might line you up. Those are the women who don't even know how to tell the truth because the lie is so much more fun.
This is a good
and whether
video, bro.
it's a lack of integrity or a lack of competence, this could potentially be a very, very, very dangerous woman. Send this to your boys, have conversations about it, share stories. Fathers, send this to your sons, have conversations about it, share stories. And as we continue to elaborate on some of these conversations, my hope is that we can establish a strong and prosperous Black community full of strong.
That's real, bro. W message, W video. I actually learned some stuff from this video. I didn't know it was gonna be this like information. I thought it was gonna be funny, but nah, I learned actually a good amount. But let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Stay away from the nurses. Stay away from the real estate agents. Yeah, it's not worth the headache, man. There's a select few to choose from, and yeah, choose right. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Do video every single day. Drop a like, and we out.